The pool of people eligible to get vaccinated in Maryland jumped today, and a Vaccine Hunter Facebook page dedicated to helping frustrated vaccine seekers in Maryland was flooded with frustrated people. "I need help for my son, 16, and asthma," wrote one hopeful mom. "It's a frustrating and stressful experience," wrote another vaccine seeker.
Because I feel like a lot of people, even from the first and the second phases, are not even vaccinated. And now you're kind of putting more people into the mix, and that's just so much harder.
Vaccination sites across Maryland were open today to people 16 and older with pre-existing health conditions, as Governor Larry Hogan announced yet another mass vaccination site will be opening soon at the Greenbelt Metro Station. This is happening as virus restrictions are being relaxed statewide, and the number of new virus cases is beginning to increase. State health authorities briefed Maryland senators late yesterday.
But it's been climbing for about 3.5 weeks. It's over 50% higher than it was on March 3rd.
State Senator Clarence Lamb, a doctor from Howard County, said he's worried reopening may be happening too fast.
All these increases have happened following the decision to open up.
In a race against the numbers, Acting Maryland Health Secretary Dennis Schrader said Maryland is now pumping upwards of 50,000 doses a day into residents. He said with more than 70% of people over 70 years of age now protected, serious illness among seniors is down. Schrader predicts more than 500,000 doses per week will be available by late spring and summer.
But the issue will no longer be supply. The issue
that looks like June 1.
Yeah.
Governor Larry Hogan continues to urge all Marylanders to get vaccinated when they become eligible. The governor's statewide mask order is still in effect. In Maryland, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.